Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Peace, love, and positivity to you. My name is Sohum, and today I'm bringing you another triple reaction. And we've sort of got a mixed bag of stuff to check out here today. So first, we're going to be checking out a new band to the channel titled Gang of Youths. We're going to be listening to them perform What Can I Do If the Fire Goes Out? I don't know what to expect from Gang of Youths. The only prediction I'm going to make right now is that they have a sort of rock, alternative rock, maybe sad boy rock kind of a sound. The only reason I make that prediction is because we're also going to be checking out some content from Nothing But Thieves as well today, another familiar face on the channel. So we're going to start with Gang of Youths, then jump to a Nothing But Thieves interview, and then end with a cover of the Gang of Youths song by Nothing But Thieves. So by the end of this video, we're going to close the loop, which is going to be super fun. Before we jump into this though, a massive thank you as always goes to Gundala the Groovy for the generous donation request and creative selections for us today. Thank you very much. And now let's jump into it. You can hear the amplifiers already cooking up. And the checkerboard floor, as if we're in an American diner somewhere. I think I literally have that amp in the background right here. The Fender. Oh, there's that kind of distressed guitar sound. Almost like a compressed overdrive. Ooh. Whoa. Ooh. The tremolo on the high note. Wait a second. This has taken over my brain immediately. I have so much to talk about already. Oh my god. The tremolo, the drumming just being spammed. It sounds like my headphones are like dying. Like almost glitching out of existence. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to talk about it and then we'll jump back into it. I am reminded of like 4 different songs and I was not expecting to be reminded of anything given where we started. And when I'm reminded of things, that is a good sign. That means there's a lot of stuff in my music library that is now being called back to me, so it means I like it. Anyways, one of the songs that I'm being reminded of is by a band named Black Shape. It's a very long acronym. I'm going to do my best to say the beginning part of it, and then you can probably just find it on your own. If this is it, if this is all there is, I hope you live, I hope you live. If you type all of those words in, but in acronym form, you probably could find the song. I'm reminded of a tremolo picking section where the song gets very atmospheric and wide, which is what I was hearing in the beginning here. And there was another one that I was reminded of, almost like the intro of like a Counting Crows song. And maybe another God is an Astronaut song. Oh, God, there's one more, but I'm not going to spend too much more time. Let's keep going. Love that intro.
This is the sound of a slowing tune to the savage desire for a soulmate.
You hear these vocals, right? I don't know where they're coming from. I don't even know if they're vocals for real. Wow, beautiful. This guy's got cool hair, cool hair. Come on. That energy is to die for. Kundala. Whoa. This is good. Like it's I don't even know what these two notes are. The da da. This pitch that you're hearing in the background of the vocals as we re-enter the verse, it feels like its voice, it could be something different, almost like a sinewy kind of string instrument. I also think it's carrying over from the chorus. So if you were to, mute every other layer in the mix, you could still hear that two pitches persisting across both chorus and verse here. I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't create this anxiety feeling. It creates this like persistent energy. I don't know how to describe it. Almost like a laser that instantaneously you point it and then it's just already like 4 miles away. It is that fast. It has that energy to me. It has laser beam energy about it. That's the best description I got for you. It's like a horizontal line through this mix. Like if I were to poke a hole into a plastic bag of water, it streams out. Love the tone of their instruments. God, that high-pitched tremolo. The high harmony there. Oh my. Dude. Wow.
Thanks a lot. We're getting views from Sydney via London.
Yeah, you ask the question, how much energy? And they answer with yes. I love how ambient it was getting in those like just instrumental sections. It has this like expansive feeling about it. I've described it like in the mix as wide before, and the idea of width in the mix, at least the way I conceptualize it, is that it grows laterally. It feels like it's getting more intense and larger and potentially louder, but not in a very like obvious way, not with the simple turning up of the gain or turning up of the volume knob, increasing the decibels. It feels a bit more abstract than that, where we go wider rather than deeper. Maybe a different analogy would be we're accessing a lot of depth here and breadth, but the part of the depth that we're avoiding is the obvious one, which would be just sheer volume. It just somehow gets hotter, but it's still simmering. Yeah, if that doesn't make sense, I don't think I have a better way to get into that analogy. All that to say, super lovely track. Love the melody, and the vocals, for all intents and purposes, served a more instrumental kind of role in this track, more so than a vocal role per se. Granted, there were lyrics throughout, but what was more captivating about the vocals, were the cadence with which they kind of popped in and out of the mix. And if you sort of treat them as an instrument and not a human voice with lexicon, it I don't know, it gives me this again, more ambient, maybe wide feeling to the track. And my brain is trying to connect a lot of different sides right now, so if it doesn't make sense, like, yeah, I get it. The other band that I now am remembering, that I was getting reminded of, they're named King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards. They hail out of Australia. I've done a handful of reactions to them on the channel, so super worth checking out if you do enjoy Gang of Youths, at least in this performance, their sound. Just be aware that King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards is a lot more chaotic. And when it comes to like prog, they really like lean into a lot of different styles and time signatures, and things can get, maybe a bit more overwhelming when you're in that realm. But this had all of the emotional gravitas that you would expect from a song like, from a band like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards, which I mean is a big compliment to Gang of Youths here. Anyways, I'll just yap on and on. Let's jump into the interview piece.
Hi, this is Nothing But Thieves, and we covered Miley Cyrus's Flowers for Like a Virgin.
We were good, kind of dream that can be so.
It's something quite feminine and romantic about the song, which is always, it's just fun to kind of tap into. And also, it's just a challenge because it's, hits higher notes because of female range. And so I really enjoy that on a personal level. But it's also a bop. Like, it's just fun.
It just grooves, and it's one of those, like, it has a hypnotic nature to it. So when you start, you don't really want to stop. So I didn't really want it to end, to be honest.
I can buy myself flowers.
Yeah, I know this song.
I think it's really hard to write.
Interesting that they decided to cover this
understated
one.
That is that good.
And it has an incredible rasp when she goes up in a higher range, and at times reminds me of like sort of early Stevie Nicks, and not many people can sing like that. And but it's her. And I think
Miley has always had such a unique voice.
In a vocal, you can hear 30 seconds of it, 10 seconds of it, and it's her.
Talk to myself for hours.
With our last Like a Version, we did a Gang of Youths song. We kind of flipped that completely on its head and reinvented it. But this time, because the song functions so well in its own right, it just means that you can kind of keep the rhythmical backbone the same and just play a bit more of textures with Joe mirroring strings.
Wait, I love these descriptions. Hold on, I gotta appreciate this again. We'll start from Connor popping off.
Talk to myself for hours.
With our last Like a Version, we did a Gang of Youths song. We kind of flipped that completely on its head and reinvented it.
Oh,
but
that's a foreshadow.
Because the song functions so well in its own right, it just means that you can kind of keep the rhythmical backbone the same and just play a bit more of textures with Joe mirroring strings, me with the synths, and you dump Connor's vocal on it and it becomes a Nothing But Thieves song.
Yeah, I think when you're sort of covering something that isn't in like a band world, naturally something happens when you get 5 people in a room creating that song. So
Right.
yeah, it wasn't too much work this one.
It's like the transition from one creative mind and
How do you
performer
feel
to
about
five.
our last cover we did for Triple J?
It's a bit more
loved
reductive,
it. Was,
but you get
it
the
was one of
point.
those things where we'd just flown in from England, you know,
Yeah.
20-hour flight, and then came straight in. We were all delirious, but there's something fun in the delirium, in a sense. We all went a bit nuts, but we played really well. And yeah, that kind of energy of how is this going to go? We're all a bit feeling a bit nuts right now, and it paid off. It was killer. We loved it.
Those Wakari one is on.
Yeah, it's so good. It's
Yeah.
obviously one of our favourite songs.
I've sent that to so many people.
Yeah.
Like, check this out.
Yeah, we're massive Rage fans, and he just absolutely smashes it.
Yeah, because that's hard to
That
do.
sounded
like, you're
good.
gonna cover Rage. All right, and he absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was growing up, I had like classical lessons, and then when that stopped as I got to like 15, 16, and I kind of taught myself certain ways to breathe, like kind of on top of what I already know. It's a lot of muscular work and breath work, so I take it very seriously. I think I had one tour, and the very
You know what's funny is like not that I'm the best vocalist in the world or anything, but the more I work out, the more I get in tune with my body, the more I understand that I've been breathing terribly for so long in my life. Even the times where I've like been more intentional about my breath work, I haven't been as connected as I feel like I am today. And I want to be able to say that at every single stage in my life where my breath work continues to improve. But what particularly drew me to that conclusion is because recently I had to like relearn how to properly brace my abdominal wall, and specifically laterally, like in my obliques. And I realized the way that I had been engaging my abs and thereby trying to breathe through my diaphragm was never laterally, it was mostly forwards and backwards, which, to put a flat number on it, would be half of the half of your abdominal wall at work. If you properly brace, then you actually can access more of your vocal range through the well-supported breaths you can now take. Yeah, so it's always important to keep learning how to breathe properly. You keep leveling up.
ways to breathe, like kind of on top of what I already know. It's a lot of muscular work and breath work, so I take it very seriously. I think I had one
Breathe
tour
and brace.
on the very start where I was like, yeah, I can party and go mad, which was fun, you know, for 1 month. And then after that, I was like, yeah, no, I really do need to look after this. I do treat it like an athlete. Just lots of teas and lots of being boring. There was this Foles quote in a magazine that made me laugh once, where they were in Las Vegas and they were like, oh, you know what touring's like, it's not just reading a book and having a chamomile tea. And I was like, yes it is.
Rest and relax, right?
It's amazing to be invited
excited,
back.
weren't
It is.
Come back
there's
stronger.
a reason it's kind of like world renowned. Like, they sound the best, they look the best. Everyone takes it super seriously, and it's such an amazing platform to kind of doing something quite creative. Sometimes you walk up to a radio station, get an acoustic guitar out and play a song, and then disappear. Whereas this is way more considered, and you just get to do your own thing to a song that you love, which is kind of, yeah.
This is gonna be cool.
You don't get a lot of freedom with stuff like that. So yeah, shout out to Triple J for inviting us back. It's been amazing.
Shout out Triple J. Yeah, I'm super excited to check out what they're going to do with this Gang of Youth song. I guess one last comment I'm going to make about this interview, and I guess I was harping on the breath work there. But even seasoned musicians, Connor in this case, they'll tell you in interviews, if you ever ask them, how do you practice? How do you continue to get better and better? It's through consistent, constant effort, and honestly, like, just experimenting on your own. Sometimes you can, read up on all the theory and have all of the coaches in the world direct you, but if you're not taking some of that time to explore naively on your own, then you won't have the, let's say, bumps in the road to then bounce off with your vocal coach, for example. It's easy to stay within the bounds of what you know. Once you start pushing it in different directions, and could be with anything, could be with songwriting, could be with lyric writing, in this case, it's breath work, that's when you can almost like level up disproportionately. I think there's this concept called discontinuous learning, where your effort towards something for a while may remain flat or slightly positive, and then you'll have a eureka moment, and then all at once, your singing, your whatever, will see a massive improvement. Anyways, let's check out this cover. I'm ready.
This is the sound of a soul in tune.
Oh.
To a savage desire for a soul made new.
So jumping right into the lyrics and chord progression.
It's a savage desire for a soul untamed. And a feeling of cry in the present age.
God, his voice is beautiful.
Throw my clothes in the fire. Throw my hopes in the fire. The thoughts that grow in the fire are burns to keep me compliant.
And somehow this song is more about the lyrics now that I'm hearing it in this version.
And you still show me a light. 'Cause I was all you kept when I fell and you tossed me aside. What can I do with the fire goes out?
Full chest voice.
'Cause I don't know if I can live without. What can I do if the fire goes out? 'Cause I don't know if I can live without. I wanna taste and see if the Lord is good. I wanna know if I'm hurt and if I'm understood.
There's a bit of that tremolo. It's a bit slower than before.
See, the signs are some stupid thing. If heaven deserves someone deep within. Do I throw my clothes in the fire?
Oh, wow, it's building. It's been building, but it's building.
Things grow in the fire up burns to keep me alive. And you still show me the way.
Oh,
You still show me the
this is gonna have one of those pop-off moments. I can just tell.
way. You toss me aside. What can I do when the fire goes out? 'Cause I don't know if I can live without. What can I do when the fire goes out? 'Cause I don't know if I can live without.
We brought the tremolo back later in the game, but we brought it fully back. Oh,
What can I do when the fire goes out? 'Cause I don't know if I can live without. What can I do when the fire goes out?
dude, Connor is so good. Oh, that emotion. How powerful is he? And the piano playing out louder here too to emphasize the melody and emotion. So beautiful.
If the fire goes out.
So breathy. Oh, come on, no. See, does it have to end? Unfortunately, I guess all good things come to an end. Man, you picked some you had some good songs today. I guess song singular, though I heard a bit of Flowers there. That cover of Miley Cyrus. What can I say? I am probably going to start with an overview of the song, because I think across the Gang of Youths version, the original, and the Nothing But Youths cover, I could identify a consistent structure. So the structure is interesting. It builds in a very unassuming kind of way, and then all of a sudden it feels like we're just on this steady ramp until the song explodes. That is the overlap that I would draw between what we had with NBT versus GOY, now that we're rocking with two acronyms. So there's this consistent structure. What I found different was energy. The energy that we got as we listened to Gang of Youth felt to me more frenetic, felt to me more raw in some senses, especially with just the strumming of the tremolo guitar, the wide panning of all of those like spatial elements that I couldn't quite identify, but it really like was unmistakable. I just wish I had better vocabulary to like tell y'all what I'm feeling and thinking about it. So we started with that song with that gradual rise that led into the kind of consistent structure that we observed in both. So the way I feel about the Gang of Youth's version is that we just kind of got a lot more of the good stuff. I really like Connor's vocals. I think that's always going to be the case with him. He just manages to put his identity firmly into the track. But I just find the arrangement with Gang of Youths to be that much more engaging. Again, I think it just comes from like a raw emotional place, and that's a harder feeling to convey in instrument than it may be in the voice. I think if you were to stack up vocalists, I would probably prefer Connor on the Gang of Youths side, and the guitars from Gang of Youths on the Nothing But Thieves side. Let me think if I had another thought pop into my brain. I'll give it a pause and then I'll get back to you. Oh, and I wanted to say another thing about the Gang of Youths version. I love the way that vocalist in particular, he almost sounded like more of an indie vocalist rather than a rock vocalist. I mean, there was a Venn diagram, there was overlap between those two, but it felt like he drew more from the likes of Counting Crows rather than your average rock vocalist. So then when we compare that to what we got with Nothing But Thieves, Connor is a lot closer to like that alternative rock kind of voice. He has a brighter timbre. The way he speaks, he's already like in a higher register than even myself. I'm a baritone. So those are like some key differences there that make these versions distinct, but there's still so much commonality between the two. I could spend 4 times as long talking about those. But, for sake of keeping the video shorter and more reasonable, I think I preferred Gang of Youth's version, but let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. I would greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like on the video, supported the channel any way you could, all that good stuff. But that's all I have for you today. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.